Bears out there. There are bears out there. I can feel them. Asleep in the woods, bears curl soft and dark, tucked under branches that droop from tall trees. There are big bears yawning and blinking and stretching like me. There are bears waking early while the day is still gray, shaking soft dirt and old leaves from their coat. Bears wrapped in fur as I'm wrapped in covers. Feel the coolness of the morning. Hear the wind in the trees. There are bears out there, sniffing the air, sniffing the ground, looking for food. Tender grass, tasty roots. Hungry bears sniff and listen and follow a humming that leads them to sweetness. Bears in the woods eat breakfast too, licking their paws full of honey. There are paths in the woods, paths without names. Bears know them by heart. Dusty trails covered with paw prints, big and wide. Bears have their paths from here to there, and I have mine. Along these paths, there are bears moving slowly, reaching high, touching a branch they could not touch before. They are tall bears growing taller, growing stronger, just like me. Down by the water, hot dusty bears wade and splash. Large bears catch fish with quick, strong jaws, and dark bears, wet bears, paddle upstream, making long ripples as they glide through the coolness. In patches of sun, there are bears, shaggy wet bears shaking sprays of water from their thick fur. Closing their eyes, damp bears feel the bright sun all around them as it dries them and warms them, like me. In the middle of the day, bears shuffle slow, some finding a place to rest and be quiet. There are bears in the heat of the day sitting in cool mud, lying in soft grass and sleeping within shady trees, dreaming dreams all their own, all alone. In the tall grass, young bears are hiding, tumbling and wrestling. Their mama is watching, keeping them safe, calling them softly, or growling a warning. Woof, woof, danger is coming. Small bears dash to the coolest of the trees. Their sharp claws cling to bark as they climb. Tucked in the branches, bears hide in shadows until mama calls, and they run to her side. She leads them to bushes drooping with berries. There are bears out there eating and eating till their pink tongues turn dark. I can feel them, sticky-faced bears, fat and full of sweetness. Deep in the woods, there are bears, sipping from streams, nibbling thin leaves, rubbing their backs against trees just to scratch. Hungry bears, sleepy bears, feel the coolness of evening, watch the world turning dark, just like me. Under the moon, there are flat-footed bears walking softly, quietly through the night. I sit on our porch looking at stars and feeling the bears dark in the dark woods. I'm glad that there are bears out there. I'm glad I can feel them. The screen door thumps and clicks as Papa comes to find me. "What are you looking at?" he asks. "Just the night," I tell him. "There are bears out there, Papa." "Uh-huh," he says. And we stand in the porch light, side by side, watching, listening, feeling the bears that roam, that belong in the deep, dark woods.